All right, got that to work. Good. We're recording here. Cool. All right. So what do we have?
Good morning, Abby. Happy New Year.
Yes, Happy New Year. Happy New Year, everybody. It really does feel good to be back in here.
I know we missed
Familiar
you.
here, Yeah, I missed you guys too. I was saying earlier, I don't know what to do with my time when we went on break. And so it's good to be back in here. This feels like home. This feels normal now, finally, looking at candlesticks and stuff. Good to see all you guys in here again. The breaks are important, right? Otherwise you burn out. So, good stuff.
I see a familiar face back too, Dustin.
Yeah, welcome back, Dustin. Everyone's getting back into the game. This is interesting. I'm looking at the ES here. What we have is obviously this big drop. What was this, Friday, I think? I was long over here. I took the long and it dropped and got me out at break even. That was it. I didn't look at it after that. But obviously it's reversed, and Sujit was talking about this. It's in the middle of that well, below that high. You don't want to really play with it. But what it's done in real time or in more recent time is reverse and then put in this long tail hammer, and sure enough, it hasn't looked back since then. That's that very precise naked trading setup that I always look for. That's the continuation setup where it goes in one direction, and during the consolidation, it puts in this big long tail hammer, a huge tail. The new high is the entry, and it doesn't look back. And now it's just going up for that other high. So that's an interesting one. Of course, I wasn't watching it during then. You'd have to sit through all this. Of course, this is all overnight action. But with futures, you can trade overnight. No big deal, right? No big deal at all. And if you zoom in a little more, you can see pre-market basically grinding upwards, but the 1 minute, that's that high, the pre-market high right there, which on the 30-minute is this little wick up here. So there's sellers up there. And again, near perfect price action just happened, 10 minutes ago. It got into that area where that high is, consolidation, breakout, retest, near precise retest. Your entries there, and you're already in this. So there you go. We're already seeing excellent, simple price action, the kind of action that I like to see. There's a good one there. And the MNQ, yes, I am interested in trading the MNQ. I don't see the difference really with the SPY. If the candles are set up, might as well take it. Over here, again, you can see similar thing, drop, reversal, and on its way it's going. What you have is this big candle, this big white one, which basically broke out of resistance. You can see that resistance right there, came back in, bounced off, and off it goes again. Breakout, retest, same setup. But a little before that big white candle, here's an interesting piece of action. If you look at it, it was consolidating in this zone and then pushed up and came back down and went up again. But what you really have is this key point. See this resistance here? It was previous support, very firm resistance, massive wick here on 30-minute chart. So this level is an area I'd be interested in. So sure enough, it did hold above that. And then when it came down and bounced off with a near perfect bullish candle, the entry is a new high after that, stop below, and you're already in this, never look back. This would have happened a few hours ago. So these are the kinds of big moves I'm trying to get myself involved in. Just looking at a bigger picture, 30-minute chart, and give it 20 hours to run if it wants to take that long. No big deal. But just to show you that the market is an absolute gold mine. Already seen 3 or 4 good pieces of price action. And so what if you stop out a couple times? The market's open 23 hours of the day if you're looking at futures. And you don't have to sit there and look at it when you put it on, right? You just put on your stops and range orders and go. So if you were in this one long over here, I would look to the left for the target. I'd put this area as a target. You can see the sellers right there. So we're getting close to that first target now. And then further up over here as well. This is a tricky zone. You want to get out over here. This would have been massive. So if you notice my trading is different and slower and whatever, this is why. This is what I'm trying to do. I'm not really looking at anything but the ES and the MNQ. And I think, Tarek, you said the oil futures are moving, right? It seems to be interesting. So anyways, we have all that. Here's the news. Maduro's in New York. Oh, great. Is there any oil news? Look at oil forecast to ease on ample supply. Okay. Oil news. There we go. So again, no matter what, it's still just candlesticks. As long as you understand candlesticks, you can put risk on, risk and reward, and you're good to go. That's basically what I'm doing here. So we still have a few minutes to the open. Welcome, guys who just joined, and Happy New Year. And let me know if you have any questions, anything you want to discuss before the open. I'm just looking at candlesticks, nothing else. Tarek, are you in here? Why is oil on the move? I just found that little.
Yeah, it's really big because all the news of Venezuela. Venezuela have the biggest reserve, oil reserve, and definitely the market don't like basically uncertainty. What's going to happen? Would they push production? Would they reduce production? We started with selling and then started buying all of a sudden. So
interesting. Is there a higher volume on it? See, I don't have the volume bars here. A higher volume on oil at the moment?
A couple of candles showed some volume. The opening one for the futures, it had some significant volume on it.
It makes sense. Like this is an outstanding candle, right? It sticks out from all the rest. It would make sense. That's where the volume is, and then in play. So there you go. Cool, man. Thanks. Something to look at. So I'm interested in all these futures contracts. I'm not limited to the ES, so good to know. Do you know how this works, Art? The MCL, what's the tick value and all this? It seems to not go in every quarter as the other ones do. I gotta go look at this stuff. Anyways, opportunities there, guys. Opportunities everywhere all day, and you don't have to just jump in at the open and get all overexcited and scalping. I find that there are easier ways to make money in the market. Zooming out, and you have leverage products like this. Of course, be careful with leverage. You don't have to
Yeah, exactly. For the MCL, this is the micro crude oil. The tick is 0.101, and this is a $1 tick. 0.01. So the price moves every 0.01, and this 0.01 reflects $1 up or down.
Oh, so it's every penny.
It's every penny.
Every penny's worth $1. Okay.
Yeah.
Got it. Okay. There we go. Since we may be having some, well, another oil war, might as well look at the oil market. Here's the 1 minute chart on MCL. So every index point here would be, for one contract, would be worth $100. Did I get that right?
Correct.
Yeah. Okay, good. Thanks. Yeah, you guys do all the math, okay? Please. Math is not.
Yeah, CL is 1,000 per dollar.
Okay. So to go with like something like 1,000 contracts on this, and you risk $1 or risk 1 point, risking $100,000. Wow. It's good to have these numbers sorted out before we put risk on, right?
And also there is a level, the whole thing that we're pushing, trying to push 58. 58 is Sajid Bahai's, one of Sajid Bahai's level. So we're just trying to push, we're not accepting it. So it will be fun.
Yeah, it'll be interesting. It'll be volatile here, I'm sure, at the open, and then it'll do something after that. We'll keep an eye on this. This will be fun. I love it. Your Egyptian saying Sujit Bhai. So in here, guys, we are multilingual. We have English, Arabic, and Hindi, and the great big concoction of Arabic and Hindi as well. If you have any other languages, please bring them out. It'll be fun. So funny watching or hearing an Egyptian speaking Hindi. Here we go. Oh, CL, $100 for 10 ticks. 10 ticks per con? Oh gosh. Anyways, I won't trade the oil. If I do, I'll put on the sim just to get the feel for the amount that it moves. There you go. Okay, some numbers here. Evo, we got A few tickers to watch. Okay, there you go, guys. If you like tickers, you guys got a few. He's watching tickers as in stocks. Again, guys, I don't trade stocks anymore. I don't even trade options anymore. I'm just into the futures thing. It's just the way my trading has evolved and is evolving at the moment. Just going into this heavily leveraged market, as well as opening up the opportunity to trade most of the day, to hold a position for a long period of time and without time decay. And what I've discovered with the leverage in the futures market is that it's a lot more leverage than options market. Well, you know, of course, a lot more liquidity. That was a real problem for me. So, anyways, I like this. It's all good. As far as the ES is concerned, again, this is the SPY. Here it is again, guys. You had that pre-market high. That was resistance, breakout, retest, perfect price action in this. It could retest again at the open. And if you're really looking to trade the open, I would look at that along in this area. If it comes down there, you have a good probability of it going again.
Since last couple of days, the pattern has been that Asia is being pumping, and at the New York session, we are getting a good retracement. So I have been observing this kind of pump and dump lately.
All right, pump and dump. I love it.
Yeah, that's a crypto.
Yeah.
Crypto thing, pump and dump. So it's
Yeah.
always in my mind.
I got the crypto background too. So that makes perfect sense, guys. You see he was talking about this earlier. It's been in a downtrend basically, and going up here right now, it's just a retracement to continue down. It could easily be you're going into all this resistance overhead if you're going long now. The long would have been earlier, a few hours ago, like we were talking about those setups. All right, here we are. Looks like the market is open. Let me get this. There we go. Straight through the roof to begin with. Again, remember, guys, the market is a gold mine. If it doesn't make sense to you, don't trade it. If you're getting conflicting signals on your indicators, don't trade it. Just wait for it. It'll come. If it doesn't come today, it'll come tomorrow. No big deal. It's just a financial market. You don't have to freak out about it. Where are we going? Still, I got to remember how all these buttons work. I'm still new with NinjaTrader. Get some strategies set up here. All right. So already a great big push up with the ES. That's a SPY straight into resistance. Well, broke through it. We got more resistance overhead. See this area right here? This candlestick action right here where it was really choppy. If I was long, it's not a place I would hold through. I would get out. And it's not a place I would begin a trade. I would expect it to get messy, just like it did earlier, and then wait for the next breakout or breakdown either way. Looks like it may be heading in that area. So that's a key area, I'd say be careful with it. Just overhead. Likely to get there today. There we go. So you got AMD, broke pre-market high. Very good. There you go, guys. AMD. Gosh, I've forgotten all these tickers. What do you guys call them again? Magnificent something? It's been a while since I looked that up. How about the Qs? Qs, same thing. Looks like it went straight up. And coming down. This is where you want to be careful, right? So the open, strong, and then right back to the opening price, and now dropping again. Here's your ORB to the downside. Ooh. It's amazing watching the open, and every time I watch it nowadays, it's like I'm always reminded why I don't trade this anymore. Because it's just difficult to put on a really big size and then let it rip, especially with leverage products. You got to put a wide stop in place. Otherwise, your risk management's just poor. What do we have? So let's see, the SPY pushed up, consolidate. So what's with the Qs? NVIDIA crashing again or what? Who's looking at this stuff? It's a good ORB, what do you call it? Measured move candidate. let's see, we have, if you measure the high and basically the opening low right here, and then for the next measure move down, you probably end up in this area, and it could get there. So you guys remember that ORBs are measured moves off of ORBs? Not too complicated. A very simple and effective way to trade the open. We went through that for hours and hours and hours in the last second half of last year. Plenty of videos on that if you want to look at it. Oliver, news at 10. All right. PMI, thank you, Oliver. Good. Oh, look at that. So broke down, retest. Looks like it's happening. It looks very weak to my eyes, this whole Qs thing. All right. Where were the sellers? Where were the sellers? Let's see. Where are the sellers? That's the top so far. And sure enough, look to the left. And yeah, didn't want to get back into that choppy zone. It's amazing, guys. I tell you, pretty much everything I need to know about price action, I get it from looking at candlestick patterns on a 30-minute chart and looking to the left. Almost everything I need to know. So where's the entry? Where's the exit? Where should the stop be? Those sorts of things. When is the entry as well? So you don't have to make it complicated. There's the ES again. Yeah, ES pushed up right into that choppy zone that we were discussing. That would have been a target if I was in this long. It would have been a super long. This is my kind of trade. I really got to get my head back in the game. Start trading again. This was huge. It was a big one. True would have been here. For me, that's about 8 in the morning or so. No big deal. Just put it on and leave it. So anyways, there we go. If y'all want to share your screen and have me look at it, we can look at it. We can look at it for you if you like. So feel free to do that. It's been a while since we did these live sessions. And also the microphone is open. If y'all got any questions, anyone want to say anything, please do. My thinking here when I'm looking to get into something is, the first question I'm asking myself is, would I take this on a 30-minute chart? Is there a setup on a 30-minute chart that I could take? If that's a yes, then I'll zoom into the 1 minute and see. Sometimes I've noticed when I'm trading overnight in the US, I can take these trades just on a 30-minute chart. I don't have to look at the 1 minute. And actually, a lot of it's easier. It's easier. Looking at the 1 minute when the market's closed is a bit messy. That's what I've discovered so far in trading these futures contracts. So it might be easy enough to just go with the 30-minute. Look at that, the Q is going straight down, huh? Who caught that ORB? There you go. We were saying a minute ago, it looks weak. So if you measured that opening range, you basically hit that target about now. Anyone catch this stuff or something like this? NVIDIA is the heaviest weighting in the Qs, right? That probably dropped. Oh, there we go. This is the ES. This is, what does it want? So a 30-minute picture on the ES, I would not think of a long until it breaks through this area going upwards. This, to me, is where sellers are sitting most recently. This area was choppy, and then sellers and more sellers. So if a 30-minute bearish pattern sets up here, in this case, that would be a reversal, or even a continuation of this setup going down. I would think about it. Another few 30-minute candles closing. Right now, it did a push up and retest of, what was that, the pre-market little consolidation. Again, you can see the scalping idea, right? You get involved and kind of don't get a whole lot out of it. That's why I stopped doing all this stuff. Unless you just want to be very inefficient with your capital, you got to put on enormous size and just go trade that scalping. We discussed this a while back. Just like capital efficiency, I don't want to maintain millions and millions of dollars in a day trading account. I'd rather go work with less capital and be much more efficient with it, and put the money to other use, good use. Just gonna wait for this. Anyways, 10 o'clock we got news. US 30 moving the other direction. So what is the US 30?
Yeah.
Really
It's the Dow Jones.
Oh, the Dow Jones.
MYM is the ticker. Can you check? MYM.
MYM is the futures. Okay.
Yeah, micro email. What
Yeah.
micro ticker.
Oh, let's look at that.
Yeah.
Dow Jones. Loading. Whoa. Okay. 30-minute chart. Look at that. Now what happened? Who said what? This thing's just jumping. How'd you pick up on this, Sujit? Was there a piece of news before the market opened that you found?
No, there was no news. Just, I mean, it's moved while it has a wild move.
Just watching it.
No, but I've been trading since last week. It's quite a nice move.
Okay. Yeah. Look at this. Like, I don't know what the tick values are and anything, but just pattern-wise. For now, of course, it's just going straight up. But what you're able to see here, and this is a tough one, but you can see it from the bottom here. It made a move up, and then it's been consolidating. And during the consolidation, again, that long-tailed bullish hammer right there. So the entry is the new high, which happened on the next candle. The stop is below the hammer, and then you're in this. And if the breakout does happen, then you can tighten up the stop, which you would have done by now. And you're in this. I would have had the target over here probably. This area sort of gone through it by now if I was doing this. But again, another very good pattern. Simple pattern, right? Just wait for it. And again, not looking at anything else, not the level 2 or the tape or any other complicated stuff. Simple patterns. I can find simple pattern setups. I'll trade them all day long. No problem. Oh, here's one. Oh, this happened after a big bullish move. Oil is still, what is it doing? Moved up and consolidating. I wonder if it's a good time to get into oil for a longer term investment. Buy some of these futures contracts. Or not really. Look at the others, other sectors in the industry. Qs, what happened? So Qs did the big push down. And yeah, there you go. Broke low of day again now. Super weak, huh? Anyone catching this? Bearish move. Saber, what are you into? MYM, all-time high here. Dow Jones. I'm curious about the Qs here and those tickers in there. Guys, someone was saying about AMD. And anyways, probably really weak. If you guys like trading those tickers. How's the ES doing? Yeah. So the ES is sitting there still, unable to go through. Looking to the left, it's telling you that's a tricky zone. Sellers have been there most recently. They seem to be there now, but this is not a pattern setup that I will trade. There's nothing here telling me it's going to reverse and go down. It's been going up and nothing telling me to go short. Put risk on stuff like this. No way. No way. Gotta wait for this. Anyways, I don't see much of a setup happening for the way I trade at the moment. There'll be a few 30-minute candles before anything happens. Yeah, this one. So looking at this 30-minute picture on the Qs, this is interesting. So it had to grind up. It did the ORB stuff going down. You may even think of buyers down here. It's happening now, but let's see. Buyers were here earlier. You can see it on the chart. That turned into resistance. There was a breakout. There was a retest. Yeah, makes sense. Kind of where the Qs are sitting now. Maybe the area where it starts to go up from. If the pattern sets up, let's see. There you go. You got the, what is that? Oh, I don't got anything here yet. So it's down in this area where it's sitting. I'd say, yeah, just about at the bottom there. This zone potential for buyers to come in. Again, I don't see a setup that I would trade. And that happens all the time, right, guys? You know this. The market moves all the time without giving you the setup you are looking for. In that case, just leave it alone. Let it go. You know, this thing seems to want to go now. Wait for it. Wait for your setup if you have one. Yes, there we go. Gonna test those resistance, the sellers again. Cool. Well, we have still 15 minutes to the news. So you got Tesla going up through pre-market high, 450. There you go. Things seem to be turning around a bit, going up as far as the Qs are concerned. Anyone catch anything fun yet? Anything interesting? Especially you scalpers who would have had a day of it already. Click on Tesla. Awesome. Good for you. Oliver's watching us here, Tesla. You know what? I think we'll have a little subgroup in here. We can do that within this platform. Create a little breakout room, and that's the Tesla only traders. Whoever wants to trade Tesla, go in that room. No big deal. There's enough of an interest. That's funny.
I found a good scanner for the 5-minute breakout. Let me share. It's good.
Okay. Where you got into the Dow. Cool, man. Heavy move. Good for you, man. Catching this whole thing going up.
Do you see my screen?
Yeah, I see it.
Yeah. This was the gap up and gap down list, and then what I did is the in the percentage change in the 5-minute. So this is in descending order. So whatever is making a larger move between this market cap 10 billion and 10 trillion is showing me the list. So if you see, all the candidate has been breaking out 5 minutes. So this is the pre-market highs broke out circle. Coin, it did a breakout. So TTD, I don't know what ticker is. It's all breaking out. And then if you want to buy the dip or maybe a BCD pattern, wait for the pullback, and then these are the list. So you just click, and then this Sophie is breaking out, Amazon, MSTR, or if you want to see the down list, sort by descending. So it's CRWV is breaking down, WDC is moving down, Oklo. So
Nice.
if you want to trade the stocks and capture the 5-minute ORB momentum, so it's good. So now if you see AMD is making a breakdown of this pre-market low. If it break down, then this could be the good take profit level, which is this gap fill.
There you go. Pretty good, man.
Yeah.
Scanners, you see, there's all kinds of tools available out there. Good job finding that. Thank you. Thanks for sharing.
Yeah, maybe I don't know if I can share. I'll share if I find option.
Yeah. So is this a scanner somebody created and left out there on TradingView? Is that it?
Yeah, it's in TradingView.
Yeah. Cool. There you go, guys. Plenty of options, opportunities.
I will stop sharing.
Cool. Thanks. Good stuff. Evo, what are you looking at? SMR. You're already long in that. Cool, man. Get some of it. And the key thing when it comes to trading, at least the way I see it, is you gotta put on the risk And then the only thing on your mind should be de-risking, not making money, at least the way I think. So de-risking is I'm really watching my stop, making sure I do have a stop, and I'm watching the price either stop me out or move in my favor. And if it moves in my favor, then de-risking means bringing the stop in tighter. So you're minimizing the risk that you initially put on. The first thing is put on risk, then de-risk. And once you've got the stop in the break-even area, your risk is at pretty much zero. And then you are fearless. Then you can really just let it run for your target, however far that may be, how many hours that may take. You just leave it alone because you're not going to lose. There is no fear at that point. And that's where the big money is made. That's where trading really becomes a different game altogether. So try and think like that. When I started doing that, it changed everything. Changed absolutely everything. That's why I'm not bothered with all this scalping and open trading. I even avoid the open actually most of the time. Just wait for the good ones, the big ones, and de-risk it, and then leave it alone. So that's how you expand your trading. You don't want to expand by just putting on more size. That's not smart. You want to make money on capturing bigger moves, and you got to find a way to capture bigger moves. And one of the things about capturing bigger moves is it takes a longer time. So you have to allow that, to allow the time. Right? It doesn't mean you sit there and watch it for 8 hours. I never watch it. I'll put it on and just watch it in the beginning only for the little time that I need to de-risk. And even that now I use an automated strategy here in NinjaTrader, and it de-risks it and off it goes. Make your life easy. Trading is tricky enough. Make it easy on yourself. This is interesting. On the ES, we had it push up right into the area where we anticipate sellers to be there. Sure enough, there's a wick there. Going into the 1 minute chart, that's where it pushed up, but it made a higher high. That's interesting. Sellers are there. You can see they're pushing down, but they're not exactly powerful, right? Would have been a lower high if they were truly taking over and pushing it down. This is not something I would trust. So for me, just because of the fact that it made a higher high means I'm not going short, not in this picture. As far as a double top is concerned, you have that perfect arch that you like to see in a double top. And then if that was a lower high, that would have been a near perfect double top at the top of a move, and then off you go short. So I can't put risk on this, not this pattern. Have to wait. What happened here with the NQs we were saying earlier? Yeah, the buyers down there. So it looks like those buyers were here as we were anticipating, and then they stepped up. Look at that. Just a couple candles ago. They're buying at higher prices, higher lows so far. I still don't see a setup that I would trade. And I trade on the 30 minutes, so I mean, there's nothing here to trade. On the 1 minute, you can begin to see where the buyers are sitting and what they're really doing. Seem to be stepping up so far. Still not a pattern I like to trade, but I'm getting the picture here. What do we have in this? This one is this oil on the move. Huh? I don't see any setups yet, but it's on the move. NYN. I'm gonna have to have a cheat sheet for all these tickers now. All these futures are they're gonna get confusing. Right. There we go. What do you got? You guys looking at GC? GC is that gold?
Yeah.
Gold, okay. Spot gold futures. All right, let's try that one too. Meantime. GC. Oops. Open futures. There we go. Man, what is up with these charts? So if we have a war coming and involving Venezuela with oil, I strongly recommend buy a ton of gold and bury it under your house. You'll be fine. It'll work out in the end. There we go. Yeah, gold on the move. That's interesting. Look at that. Fallen angel setup happening now on a 30-minute with pushed up, pull back, and then the break of the high. Off you go. Sure enough, gold is strong in the uncertain environments. Again, these kinds of tickers, or rather these kinds of futures, gold and oil, I don't think I would trade them unless there's a specific catalyst that's going to make these things move, these commodities. I wouldn't touch them otherwise. So right now we seem to have that catalyst. Certainly not something I would look to get into on a daily basis, like ES or MNQ. Those are much simpler, easy to trade. Now, what's with this news? We're expecting news, right? What is it?
PMI.
Yes, PMI. Okay, yeah, about 5 minutes. Cool. 5 minutes to go. What happened here? Yeah, the SPY just sitting there. So again, if you had caught the SPY long, man, I wish I looked at this properly earlier this morning. Yeah, the target zone is basically there. Again, looking to the left, it tells you everything you need to know right about there. You can see where it went and pushed off. I'd probably put a target in here, and another one probably there. Would have hit one by now, and the other one just sitting up. Not too complicated. Qs, are we still finding those buyers? Yeah, they're holding. Look at that. You're seeing these higher lows again. They're still there. Those buyers are still there, still stepping up bit by bit, but it is messy. Once again, I'm not seeing the absolute enthusiasm from these buyers pushing up. Maybe after the news, 10 a.m. things will change. Probably going to be stagnant until then. 4 or 5 minutes to go.
I hope it doesn't mess up my SMR trade. I normally don't hold into news events, Avi, but
Yeah.
sometimes that's just how life works, right?
Yep. I totally get it. Here's the thing I used to do when I traded all these exotic tickers. I wouldn't be bothered with the news. I would just make the assumption that the news is not going to affect it. It's only when I started trading the indexes, like the SPY and the NQs and all that, I pay attention to the news and make sure I'm not in a position when there's news coming, especially an options position. Oof. So, make that assumption if you need to, and you got your risk under control, stop in place. Liquidity shouldn't be a problem.
Yeah, I just keep raising my stop, which is really nice. When you get into a trade, you can do that.
Yeah. That's the best thing you can do, man. Just focus on getting that stop in after the entry. If it goes in your favor, bring the stop in bit by bit. And then when it's at break even, you're fearless. And that's where really, massive trades can happen. I promise you're not going to make a 6-figure trade scalping. It's near impossible unless you're being very inefficient. You're throwing many millions of dollars of buying power at it. Most people don't have that or don't want to do that even. I don't want to do that. One of the things to do with money. So, there's other ways to do it. Give it the time it needs, big setups, de-risk, and let it run. That's why you don't take a lot of trades. That's why I don't take many trades. Very few. Make them good. Make them count. What is SIL, Oliver? SIL is following something alongside gold. Was it silver?
Silver, yeah.
Oh, there you go, guys. Heading into another war situation, at least sentiment-wise. So we're having the obvious ones: oil, gold, silver, commodities, all going. Still 2 minutes for the news. It's turned into a great big mess, huh? SPY. Yes. See, guys, looking at this chart here, when these candles are big, like they are now, pretty much as expected at the open, that's when I avoid trading. When they're small, like this, that's when you can get those entries, good entries, right in here, and get a 5 to 1 just on this little move. That's generally what I'm looking for. Big candles, I just let it settle down and then catch the smaller ones. Enter during smaller candles when the market's more quiet. And you catch some big stuff. Look at this big ABCD pattern. Down to up and a near perfect setup. And the breakout on 1 minute, you probably get a little ABCD pattern within the 30-minute candle. And you're in this thing. And the trigger is really when it gets to that high, previous high. That's when you start looking at it over here. You're not watching this for 10 hours waiting for it to get there. Just let it get there. I can say trading like this is a lot easier than all that option stuff you guys saw me do last year. That was fun. This is just the evolution of that kind of trading, getting bigger. Right, news in less than a minute. All of you guys who are terrified of news, please de-risk your positions. Or you could be brave like Evo and hold through the news. Yeah. And the pre-market high break on the ES was good. It happened before the market opened. Right there. That is a picture perfect setup, man. Another smaller one later. All right, here we go. We got news. Anyone want to share what the news is? Let us know, please, if you're watching it. I'm just watching this candlestick. Been beginning to notice the head and shoulders thing. Candle hasn't closed, but you can see the peak right there at the top of this candle. So they're getting a bit of a reversal setup. Again, it is news. It's a little extra volatile. My candle delayed here. It's 10:01, right? Oh, the candle should have closed. All right, there we go. Oh, there's your bearish setup on a 1 minute and near perfect head and shoulders. A good one. Take the short. It's 1 minute setup, so I'm not taking it, but you can see it's right there. 1 minute picture, short. 30-minute picture, and no reversal setup, so I'm not doing it. Sever, what are you saying? PMI is less than expected. Okay. PMI is less than expected. So is that positive or negative as far as how do you feel? Is that priced in already?
I didn't like it. I had to get out of my trade, so it kind of ruined that one.
Fair enough.
That's what happens when you're home for the gold. I made some money. It was good, but I was really hoping for like mega, like I don't know, 8, 10R.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, fair enough. Those 10R trades are huge and they take time to go, and typically you have to hold through a lot of garbage on the way. And the best way to hold through garbage is don't look at it. You know, turn it off, go do something else, go fishing, I don't know, whatever you like to do. Best way to trade. But of course, de-risk it first. That's good, man. Risk management, we got out of it. That's important. First order of business is don't blow up. Please don't blow up. Otherwise, you know, the market will be here tomorrow, but you won't. And that's a problem. All right, so PMI less than expected, but overall, not much of a movement in the market. Just kind of still in the same place where it was before the news came out. Gives me the signal that everything was priced in anyway. Anyone heard of market manipulation? Everything's priced in. Yes, ever negative news. Okay, so it should make the market drop, right? But the market didn't genuinely drop, did it? So there you go. The market is not rational. It never has been. Never will be, probably. It's more sentiment driven, especially for this kind of trading that we're doing. You know, it's not a rational thing. You just got to watch the price action, put on risk when you believe that one party is taking over, the buyers or the sellers, and flow with that. So real-time price action. That's what matters. Again, that's why I don't bother much with anything else. Just real-time price action. That's where I've made the most money. So these Qs, anyone catching that long on the Qs? We're talking about it for the last half an hour. Below there, these buyers stepping up, and looks like they're really going to make it go. Again, 1 minute picture. If you're not in it, I wouldn't take it here, but I would take it at the break of the high if it gets up there. And then it sets up for a trend for the day, maybe. You wait for that sort of thing. That'd be this high. We got to watch it on the 30-minute chart. Yeah, you wouldn't want to take it up there, right? So 30-minute keeps me out of it. And here on the 30-minute, again, the SPY is up in the same area, still just struggling. The setup was there on the 1 minute, the head and shoulders, not working. Again, there you go. That's why I don't trade the 1 minute chart. Got a lot of false setups. Way too many for me. If I still traded the 1 minute chart, I swear to God, I would have been through about 10 trades by now. And you guys saw me do this in 2023 and 24. Oof. 5 different tickers, all kinds of stuff. How exhausting. Just sit and wait. Anyways, I don't see much going on right now. Anyone want to talk about anything? Anyone got some trades? You want to share your screen? You want to talk about it? You want to share? You got questions? Go through stuff. Things are likely to be quiet now. I don't see anything on my screen that's in a decent place for a trade, so probably going to be quiet. Dan, how long did it take for me to detach? You see, I'm still here watching these candlesticks. I'm not detached yet. Still standing here. Yeah, but boy, it's a habit forming thing. I think I can't tell you how long, because it's an ongoing evolution and it's an ongoing process. We're always searching for it. I don't feel like I'm detached, not yet. I know I'm more detached now than I was, let's say, 2 years ago. But I know there's still progress to be made. I don't think there's an end goal to this sort of thing. You just got to keep getting better and better and better all the time. 1% better per day is what I like to say. Eventually, you kind of start taking trades on your phone from the beach, kind of thing I was doing in December. Just testing that out, and no big deal. It was still fine. Took quite a few break-even stop outs, and then 1 or 2 that ran. Okay. But you know, the moment you tell yourself you've got this, or you are detached, or you're already there, that's it. That's your peak. You're going down from there. So you know, you got to stay on top of yourself always. That's a psychology thing. Overconfidence, basically. And I can tell you that you guys have seen me blow up accounts over the years. Oh my gosh, scary, especially with leverage. So you always got to stay on top of yourself. All right, anyone got
Sellers started taking over the oil, the crude oil. I'm in short. I was interested in the 58.
Oh, look at that. Yes, you were saying 58 earlier. Yeah. And oh, look at that. Holy crap.
I took the first one. It didn't go. It went against me. I stopped. And then when it rejected the 58.20, I took again another short.
Nice.
Let's see. I'm looking for 57.40 on this one.
My God, look at you. You're trading oil futures, catching a major drop. It's like insider trading, man. This is awesome. I love it. What happened? Did they close the Straits of Hormuz or the Suez Canal again, and oil supply is restricted? Or not, sorry, the other way. Did oil supply come online? It goes the other way.
Because we control supply now, remember?
You Egyptians, I'm telling you, you control everything, man. You got the Suez Canal there. Oh, well, no, good stuff, man. Really good catch. You were watching this before the market even. Yeah. Look at this on a 30-minute picture. I see a very good setup. I wasn't looking at this for the last hour, half an hour, whatever. The setup is here. It went up, and this is really good action. I like this price action. This looks like a textbook again. So it went up in a bullish move, and you can see these candles got smaller compared to the previous ones, right? Strong moves up. You can see the momentum slowed down, then again push up, a little consolidation, then a big push up, and then slowed down. It wasn't pushing up anymore. And this one right here, the reverse hammer, pushed up and shot straight back down. And what you have at the end of that candle is you have this picture right here. And if you look at this, big bullish trend, and before the reverse hammer price action slowed down, room to the left at the wick of that hammer. This is a perfect reversal setup. The entry on this 30-minute chart would be the new low below the hammer. Stop would be above, and your target's further down. As it goes in your favor, you de-risk it, and you're in this thing going down. Be at de-risk by now. You'd probably be at break even, and then just let it run. Ideally, I'd put a target here. I see big sellers down here. You know, if it gets there, that's a target. That's a good one. That lines up nicely over here as well. Can maybe partially in this area, bottom of this wick. So anyways, good price action on a 30-minute. Very good stuff. On 1 minute, let's see, what does that 30-minute look like? This candle closed at 10, I think. Yeah, 10. So after 10 o'clock, how would you catch the short on this? Yeah, 10 o'clock. 10 o'clock is here. So by the time it's 10 o'clock, you got the reverse hammer on the 30. You're on the 1 minute, you sort of went up, and you're seeing these lower highs, right? And you're ideally looking for a flat bottom, which I think kind of happened here. It's a tricky one. It's not ideal, but it's there. And you try and catch a short breakdown through that area, just below 58. This is the way I would probably trade this. Maybe stop out once on this wick and then re-enter as it rejected 58 again during this white candle. Stop right above it. And then you're in this on a 1 minute picture. Well, there you go. Again, good price action. That's a decent price action today. Good job, guys. Catching stuff like this. I mean, seriously, you only need one trade like this every couple of weeks, and that's it. That's all the trading you need to do. And to me, that's really detached. You don't just show up every day expecting to scalp the open, going crazy. You know, I mean, I did all that for years. I'm done with it. I feel like only amateurs really do that. And yeah, one or two decent ones, nice and slow, detached, and you catch major moves, especially in the futures market. Really good fun. Yeah, this one is the 30-minute chart. Cool, good stuff. Nice. Anyone got anything else you want to share? Want to discuss? Everyone good? No one blew up? Everyone's quiet, so that means everyone's okay. People blew up, everyone be yelling and screaming, and then I have to mute everyone again. Everyone's good. Alrighty.
Yeah, I was watching Rigetti for an ABCD on the 5 minute, but I don't like the volume profile on the last 5 minute green hammer or 5 minute green candle. It was much less than the selling off volume, so that negated the trade. I'm actually looking at Tesla. I think it's primed to break out here. It's holding the fib level pretty well.
You want to share your screen and let us know what you're talking about, if you're comfortable?
On Tesla, yeah, hang on 1 second here. I can do this. But I'm buying at premium level, which I don't like to do. Yeah.
So manage the risk. It's all risk.
Yeah, I'm just looking for a signal here.
Yeah, this oil was really the best setup since the open. I'm looking at 30-minute charts. Best setup I've seen so far. Yeah, let me know when you're ready to share. And
Sure thing. Let me see. Yeah, I didn't get in. It looks like it's breaking out.
Real quick, guys, look at this gold chart. We were talking about that fallen angel setup where it's been positive overnight. A little drop, that's that cup, and then break through the open or break through the high. That's the trade right there. We were talking about this about 30 minutes ago.
So this is what I was looking at on Tesla. I didn't enter the trade because I just don't like buying at these breakout levels, but we had this nice pop. And we had some nice buying action off the EMA9. This is the 5-minute chart. And I threw up some fib levels here. And so it was kind of holding the 23.38 range pretty well. Had some other buyers come in here. And then this, I really like to see this increased volume tension. That means it's ready to just snap.
Yes.
But again, I don't like buying here, man. It's just like I don't know. I mean, I've done it before, but I'm trying to tell myself not to buy at premium levels. So I think now my plan is to, well, if it's true breakout, then let it retest that area with some sort of confirmation candle down the road.
Mhm.
That
Yeah,
makes sense?
that makes sense. That's a good mindset. You don't want to buy it when it's up there. So wait for the retest. That's always a better option. Takes a bit of patience, but man, it's worth not blowing up. Here's
Yeah.
the thing. If you're unsure of buying it in a particular place, and let's say you go ahead and actually buy it there, what happens next is you are all antsy in that trade. You can't hold it. You can't keep yourself together. You're emotionally all over the place while you have a live position. You already know that's going to happen before you enter because you know you're uncertain about taking that entry. So the moment you have uncertainty about entry, don't take it. Because again, if you take it, you're going to mess it up anyway. You're going to break all your rules. It's just going to be, you're not decision making anymore. Now you're an emotional autopilot. It's just a mess.
Yeah. Anyways, that's what I was looking at, but we'll see if it's a true breakout or if it fizzles out here like it jackknifes and then just comes back down to VWAP or something.
Nice. Good stuff, man. Good. You're very aware of what's going on inside you. I mean, that's a really good place to be. A lot of traders come in, especially in the first few years, unsure of, they're not aware, basically. They're not aware of what's going on. They think candlestick and indicators and all that. But really what's driving their decisions is this emotional state. And they don't realize this until they start journaling and a couple years in and realize, oh crap, why did I even take that trade? Well, because you were doing it emotionally. You didn't even know you were doing it. So that's when you really start evolving as a trader, when you start becoming aware of yourself while you're trading. And then you realize detachment, that's another level later on, I'd say. So all that's very important stuff. Good stuff, man. You got this. Very good. Cool. Let's end the recording here at least. I don't see much else going on. There we go.